We finna start rolling. Yes, sir.
Check.
Yeah. We're live. We in here. Free game.
We're back.
3 in a row.
With another episode.
We on a
free
hot
game.
streak.
Yay.
Yeah.
This is episode 3 in 1 week?
You feel me?
Wow.
I'm back. I'm trying to get to 100. I think we got to I think on YouTube, I just put 37 or 38.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so it's episode 39.
Yep.
Yep.
One of those, something like that.
I'm calling it. It's episode 39.
You heard?
Let's get it.
We had the final meeting today for Fairgrounds. Tomorrow, tomorrow we going in and building the stage. Today was really special because I had a big moment of gratitude. I rode my bike to the meeting. Me and Splash rode from my mama crib to the meeting. And it was such a beautiful moment to be able to ride your bike to the fucking venue that you finna perform at. Sell out. But it was dope. It was the final one, and we get to go in tomorrow and build the stage out, and it's all starting to come to life. It's a beautiful thing. One thing that we found out too, they don't give insurance policies for hip hop concerts.
Surprise.
That sound like racism. That sound like racism to me. And I'm sure it's some type of loophole around that. We had to do a capacity restraint just to get insured for it. But shit like that is what you got to deal with within the system when you building something big that they don't tell you.
Mm-hmm. And not they as in the Fairgrounds, they as in them people.
Yeah. You heard? Mike G folks.
Mike G
Speaking of Mike G, we got the homie Nick here today. Nick, pull up to the couch.
Uh-oh.
Come on, man.
In this series of free game, you never know who might pop in.
You never know who outside, whoever at the compound, is eligible to get in here. So Nick, when I found Mike G, Mike G was always talking about Nick. Always talking about you. And he man, this is who kind of put me in the game and showed me the ropes. And I'm man, I got to meet this nigga. Yeah. Right, so you came up and he was man, he been working Super Bowl and he be working all this shit. How does one get to Super Bowl as an engineer?
Man, I got very fortunate. Shout out to Zoe Thrall, my manager. That is everything to her, man. She trusts me to be with whoever. So, but it was tough to get that trust from her for sure.
What did you do in that capacity, and how do you go into moments like that? For you, are those moments is that a finals game? Like how we feel as artists when we do arenas?
I mean, it definitely to up until today, that is the biggest project I worked on. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And it's a huge resume point, you know what I mean? But it's at the end of the day, it's all the same type of stuff, just at a higher level, it's one input, 2 inputs, 3 inputs, you know what I mean? We did 65.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? At all times.
Light flex. Niggas never plugged in 65 things.
At all times. Ready to go. Live. Recording. Because they would just jump from one instrument to another, just start playing it. And then they look at me, did you get that? It's
Sheesh.
If I didn't, then what am I doing here? Why, you know what I mean?
Right.
So being on point with that. But also, it was a huge learning experience because they would come in and the keys guy, he would come in and press the keys. And if he didn't hear it, he would be oh, I thought this was a recording studio. So, all right, always make the keys be able to be heard. Even if it's a transition point where I have to cut the recording and do something, he can still hear it because I flipped it on the console. You know what I mean? So it's it's at least monitoring. But if you could hear it, you should be able to record it, and it should be recording
because you never know when the moment gonna happen.
Right.
Sheesh. It's hella funny when I started in my backyard. So when I started, it was really me. So I had to set up, every time we go to a show, I'd set up the board and the audio and everything and then go on stage and make sure everything was set to record. And when I started having other people do it, we used to rehearse and we'd have a crazy rehearsal. And I look and be y'all recording? And they'd be no.
Right.
And you got to condition people to record everything. Everything is a special moment. You never know what the fuck might happen.
For sure. So
how'd you get your conditioning and training? What was your inception to engineering?
I started out here. I grew up in Livermore. I went to school in San Mateo, and I found a recording studio one day in San Francisco, Different Fur, and I just rang the doorbell.
Wow.
And
Them days.
yeah, I was like 20 years old. All right. I had just started making beats like earlier in that year. And I rang the doorbell, and the intern at the time opened the door for me. And I was like, I didn't expect to get this far.
Great.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I was like, do you guys have like a business card or some shit? And she's like, yeah, like, hold on. So she like, you know, let the door go. I caught the door. I just took 2 steps inside and like stood there, you know? I knew I wasn't supposed to be inside, but I stood there very politely, you know? And then she turns around and saw me, and she's like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, my bad. Like, you know, I wasn't, you know. And she's like, well, you're already inside. Like, you want to see the studio? And I was like, yeah. So she shows me the studio, and there's people in like, you know, the A room cooking up and stuff. And I like peek my head in. I'm like, all right, I'm definitely not supposed to be here. And you're like, all right, I appreciate you. Thank you for showing me. I got to go. And the engineer was like, bro, what the fuck? You don't want to hear this? And I was like, yeah.
Wow, they were inviting.
Right. I kept trying to like, you know, all right, like I don't want to like, I don't want to push it, you know, but they kept, you know, stay. So I sat in there for like an hour just like watching, you know what I mean? And I immediately when I got home, I applied for an internship, came back on a Friday, and they, you know, it was like, it took about a month to get a job there. And I didn't even know what an engineer was at the time. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I was just like super
jumping off the cliff.
Yeah. Like, so I got an internship eventually, and then they taught me how to engineer. Yeah. So.
How'd you come across Mike G?
Man, I was working at the Hideout, and, you know, he's in the conference room at the front desk, you know, doing his thing. He was a production assistant, so he was kind of like the runner, you know, whatever like the client needs type thing. And he was like making the craziest beats, and he's just so casual about it. He was just like, yeah, they played one of my songs at a Laker game today, so that was cool. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, let me hear it. Yeah. And I'm like, you produced this, bro? And he's like, yeah, I produced for Mozzie, like, you know, a bunch of shit. And I'm like, bro, your beats are way too good to be the sleepy guy at the front desk. Right. Like, you need real shit, bro. I was like, you need to like learn how to engineer, because like you're way more valuable like in the room than out of the room.
Y'all picking up what he's putting down?
You hear me?
But that's not like that's very rare though. You know what I mean? Like we were talking earlier about, you know, the watermelon thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like I don't know.
Only certain people.
Right.
Only certain people have it.
I could just see it. He's sitting up there watching Call of Duty videos, making the craziest fucking beats. Right. I'm just like,
Gets
bro.
me in my zone.
Yeah, dude. Like, you need to.
Right.
Let's like, yeah. Let's add something.
That's dope. So you seen it.
Right. So, you know, you know, the culture at the studio was kind of different than most studios that I had worked at, because like number one, the production assistants get paid. So I never got paid as an intern, all that stuff. So it's like there's kind of a like standard of like they're there at the front to do that job, and like that's good enough. Right?
Right, because you're going to get a check.
Right. Like if you're not getting paid, like you're either going to quit or you're going to push to, you know what I mean?
Position to get paid.
So it was like I would get there, and none of the production assistants really like had a like inclination towards music. You know what I mean? So and it's like more helpful to me if you know, like, hey, get this cable for me. I want these headphones in particular, like this microphone, like you know, all that stuff. So it was like he started sitting in on my sessions, and then like I would call him on my way in and ask him if he was there, and then have him set the room up for me. And it was like, you know, details. This is the biggest one. I tell every assistant when they come into the room, have a notepad, write down all your questions, don't say anything, and when the client leaves, I'll answer any questions you have. It's like very specific, Mike is the only person that ever followed the rules.
Oh God. And Mike will have questions.
Yes, for sure. Yeah,
that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, that's, we just kind of, from him being the sleepy guy at the front desk to him being, my fucking brother, man.
I appreciate it. I've benefited so much in my journey from just having Mike here, because I'm somebody like, you have to be highly conditioned to even be in my team, let alone to like be my day to day. Like everybody can't. It's almost an impossible job. It's like if you don't have the tenacity and that ambition to want more, you just won't last here. So it was already in Mike G, but you gave him so much knowledge and information for him to be able to thrive in a situation like this where he has to do a multitude of things here, It went from just mix these records to no, set up the backyard show to, oh no, we're going to go do a show here and it's no setup. We're bringing in stage, sound, audio, and we got to figure it out, So that conditioning, man, necessary. You feel me? Yeah. It was dope because, you helped him to benefit himself and benefit what you was doing, but it ended up benefiting. It's now going to benefit the world, in a grander way.
Right. I mean, it's like in a certain, he allowed me to help him. You know what I mean? He did the right thing. He, if he came in and started talking in the session, he would have never been invited back.
Right. That's hella funny because when we do sessions, well, I think even still, he's like silent as hell. And Mike G, he's hella goofy. He gonna crack a joke. He gonna do some oddball thing. But when we get into the session, he's just behind the desk.
Right.
The most he'll do is like nod his head.
Man.
And then afterwards, he'll have all these things to say. And it's like, bro, why do you go mute? And he's like, the first thing I learned was to get in here and shut the fuck up.
Hey, that'll get you in so many rooms. You'll find yourself in rooms you would never imagine.
That nigga won't even respond when the artist say something. I mean, like, he talking to you. For sure, man. Appreciate you coming on,
appreciate
dog.
you. Hell yeah.
You heard?
Yes, sir, my pleasure.
Cinco! Come on. We got niggas outside today. You heard?
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Little did he know.
Oh, let's do it.
Camera ain't even here. We just kicking it.
Hey, man. Cinco said he in the Bay and he's gonna pull up. Cinco sent me a pack a little bit ago, and we've been moving, but I've been listening to my headphones. We'll be on the plane and shit, and some shit in there. And man, how you get in? I know your shit from the Rap Star joint. You feel me? That was the first one that pushed through that I was like, oh shit, you and Einer cooked that thing. Sure. I remember seeing what was it around that song? It was something around that song. I remember seeing something. Was y'all like trying to get production credit for that song or some shit?
Hey man. Oh, shit. Yeah, a little complicated situation. I can't really talk too much about that, but
the business,
yeah, but
during that, what I was gonna bring up when I had seen that's when I found out like somebody from the Bay did it. And I was like, oh shit, that's from the region. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You feel me? And lead on. So how you get in that position where you get one of those? Because Polo was booming at that time.
Clubhouse, surprisingly enough, like mid-pandemic.
Clubhouse?
Hey, Clubhouse was booming.
No, I owe Clubhouse so much. Like, because it's like I just logged on there and that's where I met Einer. And the first thing we ever talked about, he's like, oh yeah, I'm working with Polo G. Like, you want to try this out? That was the first thing we ever talked about. We had no other conversation prior to that. And then, like, I didn't hear about it for maybe 6 months. I did the beat. I sent it. He just, like, liked it and kind of just kept it pushing. I was like, all right, cool. Like, probably not happening. You know what I mean? And then he calls me one day out of the blue. I was like, oh, what's this? And he's like, yo, you like, some shit's about to change your life right now. Watch this. And he showed me what was happening. He sent me a little snippet of the song with the video shoot. He was like, it's your beat. I was like, oh, shit. Like, but even in then, like, I wasn't expecting it to go that big. I was just expecting like, what a normal Polo G song was doing at the time, which was still really good, but like that shit.
That was a record.
Yeah.
That was a record.
That shit was crazy. It's the craziest shit I've ever been.
How long you been cooking?
Seriously? Like 8 years. I mean, I've been doing it longer than that, but I was just fucking around though as a kid. You know what I mean? Like I was making some bullshit for a long time. So it took a while to get there, but yeah, probably like 8 years.
For sure. So after that track, was that like a breakthrough track? Like it kind of got you in? Did you start getting a lot more motion after that?
I mean, like Honestly, yes and no, because I wasn't ready for what came with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I went down to LA and like I was like, oh, I'm lit. Like, man, it's up. Like from here,
LA
like no.
teach you that you're not lit. Because everybody you meet,
everybody lit.
Yeah. Nah, you're like, I just kind of realized like they're trying to put me in the room with like world-class musicians and shit. And I'm just like, shit, I kind of play the keys a little bit and I make beats on my laptop. Like, I'm not ready for all this shit. And I kind of, it kind of,
beautiful.
Yeah, it humbled me, but like I needed that, because now I can be here like 3 years later and I've been down there for a few years and just kind of like learned the way the shit works more and kind of seen what it is and what it's not. You know what I mean? And like now also I've just honed in on my skills as a musician and as a creative. So I feel like now it's like, it just comes naturally. I don't have to be stressed about it. When I got in those rooms initially, I was like, oh shit, like I'm sweating. Like I'm about to get cooked. But now it's like, it's cool. So I think
Fire.
Yeah, it all happened how it was supposed to.
Fire.
For sure.
Questions?
Yeah, I do actually. What do you feel like the biggest thing that changed after that record? Mm-hmm. Maybe that you anticipated, and then maybe something that you were like, I had no idea that this would happen once I got like a major record like that.
Well, definitely the money. I mean, that was great to kind of like
so
just.
Did you get royalties from that?
Of course, yeah.
Beautiful.
We had to fight a little bit. Like,
what did you get just publishing or did you get like master points?
We got master points.
Let's go.
Yeah. So we got some master points. We have publishing. And then all the shit that usually comes with like a standard, like getting the placement. Of course, it's not like half or anything like that, but it's it's fair enough. So I've been able to be blessed enough to eat off of that and be able to move down to LA on my own and like really try to just like get a what's the word, like get a foundation going out there. You know what I mean? Like get networking and just know a bunch of people. So now whenever I go out there, I've always got someone I can pull up on. I've always got something to work on. I can stay busy. You know what I mean? Like because I was out here. And it was just kind of like everything's over the internet. Or it's like Bay Area people, but I'm also trying to like connect with more people outside in the greater, broader scheme.
Do you usually, like I be thinking the best strategy for producers is to like lock in with an artist that they find that they think is hella dope and build with that because you're able to build branding. But do you usually like lock in with artists or you find like production groups?
I do both. I'm trying to be bigger on more artists right now, especially people from out here. Like I've been working with Yada Bands. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's from Hayward. Like he's super talented at singing and just making like he can make crazy records. And like he wasn't even like I don't think he was even aware that he could be so diverse with it. But I pulled up on him and I was like, look, I know you've been doing like this certain type of record and we could do those, but like I got some different shit. You just want to hear it. And he was like, shit, I'll hear it. And he heard it. He was like, damn, but you think I could do this? I was like, yeah, for sure. He did it, and it's just some whole new shit. Like, he could be a pop star off of this shit. Fire. So it's like, now I'm just like, shit, like, I think I want to, like, in that situation, it kind of made me realize, like, I want to find as many people as I can and just bring them something different, Because, like, at the end of the day, that's what's going to push people's careers forward, not just trying to do the same thing over and over. So I want to be the person that, like, comes in and is like, look, we should do it this way, try some new shit. And you never know, you might come up with something that's going to change the world. Like, right. So, yeah, that's what I've been on, for sure.
Jeez.
That's fire.
What was something you didn't expect?
The way they embrace you and then kind of let you go when it isn't fresh. I mean, like I kind of felt like I was like, oh, like all these people fuck with me and this is lit. Like I can go and like be around all these people, work with them, and then like if you don't follow up in 6 months or you don't sign to them or you don't, go ahead and like whatever the case might be, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, you're getting left on red, by those same people that were like my brother. Like it's all like, so it's like, okay, but I had to go through that too because I was like under the impression that a lot of these interactions I was having were real, and it was just kind of like,
it's because you popping.
It's just business.
Have you done any like production or publishing deals?
I have an admin deal.
Nice.
And I got a Downtown Music. I don't know if you heard of them. Yeah. So they. It's not really a resource company in terms of like they're gonna put you in like sessions and help you move around, but they did give me a good bag and I got good terms and I got to keep all my publishing like ownership wise. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was the best situation for me to go into currently, and then I'm just gonna handle all the the stuff a pub company would do in terms of setting up sessions and just like you just kind of got to bet on yourself.
I did a admin deal for mine and they do bring things, but it's really from me. Like I told them when we did the deal, I had like 300 or 400 songs in my catalog, and I was like, I'm finna have another 500 in that shit before this term over.
Yeah.
And through us growing and bringing so much, you end up getting that embrace to where it's like once the NBA shit start tapping in, you become priority anyway. You feel me? But it's like you just building that catalog to it, you end up becoming that priority there where they start bringing shit your way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, bro, that's really the main thing I'm right now. I'm just trying to like do it on my own, you know? Because I think it's more natural that way too, you know what I mean? Like I've also been in a lot of sessions that are set up by like external people. And you can tell sometimes the people just don't want to be there or whatever. It's just like, you know, I like the natural, like we pulled up on each other, it's mutual respect, and we both are there, we want to work, you know what I mean? So that's really just what I'm on right now, just trying to build those foundations with as many people as I can, you know what I mean?
You still cook like every day or often?
Oh yeah, every day. I mean, not every day. I haven't cooked today, but I've been moving around in the Bay Area, traffic and shit, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, whenever I get a chance to sit down and do it, for sure. I try to do as much as I can. I'm trying to really even uptake like the work ethic too, like to a higher level. Cause I know like there's people making like 10 beats a day. I'm not doing that. You know, I could be, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to force the craft too much. So it's like a middle ground, you know what I mean? Between hard work and creativity that I'm trying to find, and I'm still balancing it out. So.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire. You know, I feel like when you get big moments and big records and big checks from it, it kind of make you lazier.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at least for a bit, because you get that slight jaded sense of like, shit, I made it. You know, when you feel like you made it, you start working as if you made it. So it's dope to have that ethic still there where it's like, nah, I'm still cooking and putting that shit in.
Yeah, you can't ever get satisfied with this shit. Like, or not satisfied. What's the word? Content. You can't be content. You gotta just keep, because you like creativity is like never ending. You're never gonna get there per se. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you like even the best musicians in the world are still trying to figure out how they can do something better.
Right.
So it's
Oh
like,
God,
right.
Quincy Jones in the 50s, 60s, 70s cooking.
Right.
yeah,
For real. You know, I think that's a hell of an achievement too. Like to get a hit. That's why I love 40. Nigga, 40 was already upper 30s when he got Tell Me When to Go. Like,
right.
that's
Still
the biggest
going.
hit. Same with Short. Those are the biggest hits of their careers, and that nigga was 40.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's like you gotta keep putting that hustle in. At 40? Yeah.
I mean, that's what a lot of people though. I think like the baby didn't even start rapping until he's 28, you know, and that was way before he even blew up. And so it's just like you just gotta keep going. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Real shit. It's crazy, you know, because he had like a whole other life before he started rapping and shit. I didn't even know that until recently too. I was like, shit, it's impressive. You know?
Jeez, who you trying to get in with now? Like who's somebody that's on the list?
On the bucket list?
I gotta get one.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I mean, someday I want to make a song with The Weeknd for sure. You know what I mean? But
he on a crazy run.
Yeah, that's a difficult one to figure out. So we'll see.
That's a range.
Isn't he like the
you got
biggest
that kind of range?
What do you mean on like some production shit? Trying to.
Yeah.
The Weeknd's the biggest artist in the world right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like right above Taylor Swift.
I think like monthly listeners wise.
Statistically.
Crazy.
Man, I took my daughter to Universal Studios one time, and that nigga Weeknd had a whole installation. I was like, it ain't no way. I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Right.
But when you realize pipeline and infrastructure, he signed to Universal. It's like they're able to market you in ways that don't exist for regular niggas. Like he had a whole horror thing that was after The Weeknd. It was like, bro, this is insane.
He's not a regular.
Oh, you're talking about at the theme park.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Levels.
not a regular nigga.
Yeah.
Fire. Well, me and Cinco about to cook after this.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? We finna close up this episode.
It's on the
Sion, you
way.
here. You might as well hop on this couch, man. We've been rapping and getting it in.
My guy.
Before we close this out, what time we at?
We're at 25.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Sion.
Sheesh. I ain't been in one of these in a minute.
I'm excited for Yasion to sit down.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah, because Yasion has been cooking up this idea to do like an installation. I'll let you explain it, but I'm excited to see it come to life.
So yeah, I've been thinking about how I could do a gallery, but do it cool. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to do one. I want to do two. One that's GC based, where is everyone in GC get their own little, panel and everything. Have Simon in the band just like have vibe the whole thing. They don't got to do a set or nothing. They can just be there. You can make it be that, and then just kind of let them do their thing, and then have people come in, and whatever's on the wall, it's offer based. You'll be able to go and get it. So it's a specific piece specific image you really like.
Like you can pull pieces off the wall.
Yeah. So you can make an offer.
Hard.
Yeah. So you can make an offer, and at the end of the thing, you can pick it up.
Hard.
Yeah.
Being able to pull pieces off the wall is fire.
Yep. One of ones. I won't print them again.
That'll be that.
That's a fire ass idea.
Right?
Yeah.
I love it because it's like Yasion has been doing pictures for a long time, and like how Splash started doing the shows where he's doing them with artists now is like we were all sitting down like you got to figure out how you're gonna make money off of your craft,
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a fire idea for Yasion because it's like, bro, you've taken pictures of some of the most legendary moments and they just sit on your drive or in a Dropbox link, and it's like how do I get it to the people but in a way that I can profit off of it? And it's like to make it an experience and a way for you to be able to like, because people can buy tickets to the experience and then purchase the art.
I think that's fire too.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And people can make offers throughout it.
And
just
he's making
bid.
it an experience. You don't just walk in and look at some pictures.
No, music playing, vibe.
Right?
And like I say, to have people bid throughout,
Yeah.
that's a fire ass concept.
Because then if you get late, it might be an empty wall.
Yep.
Yeah. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be 30 pictures. It could be 100 plus that's in there. It's like, and then I'll have the ones that I really love be the big, like 24 by 36s.
Like
you know what I mean?
Downtown Vallejo one?
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's tight.
That picture is the reason I even thought of that.
No, that's fire as fuck. I would be down to do this first one with you in tandem because I got like artwork in that's one of one, that can go up too. That'd be dope as fuck. Had a band play.
Yeah.
That's fire. Ooh, that's the integration to making the song live.
Yup.
Ooh.
Like after everybody buy the art, then we
Yeah.
just make a song.
And then just have all the stuff there.
We should do it at the Mare Island Coal Shed. That little like interior room.
Yeah.
Because then it would give space for you to be able to set up the band and then use the walls.
We should build like 4 walls.
Yeah.
That's a dope idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Come on.
You've been taking pictures for me for a long time.
He got more pictures
Sheesh.
of you than your mama.
That's
God.
I think about that sometimes. I'm like, shit.
Oh God.
He's obsessed.
But it's like we've had to see this level of improvement, like to go from like pictures and no covers. So I think you probably shot the last 7 or 8 covers.
Yeah, up until Darren's, yeah.
Oh God, he was giving niggas a run for their money.
Oh yeah, we got Crocs too.
The Croc campaign, the picture on top of the Crocs and your shit.
On the front page how did that feel?
It didn't really feel like nothing at first because I was like
we be moving.
You know what I'm saying? At first I was like, it's like, oh yeah, that's tight. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't nothing saying that I did it or whatever, but it's like I knew though. And then when I accepted it, it was like, and then people started texting me like, you did that, and I was like, oh, this is real. This happened. Oh shit,
nigga, from the V, that is unreal. Like that's a Croc campaign, a global campaign.
Yeah, it hit me later.
Like you shot that shit and went back home. You feel me? Like that shit really crazy.
You shot that shit in your own Crocs.
Damn near.
Yeah.
In North Vallejo.
Right.
In the park.
You heard?
Like that's something that like one of the things that I've been feeling a lot lately is just this immense gratitude for everything.
That's good to hear you say because you've been going off online about niggas not giving you your credit and shit. Boy,
yeah, that's a real human
I had
moment.
to hit Yacy on one time. Like, man, this is what we own. This is what we own. But it's beautiful to see that transition because it's like you can't seek external validation for what you know you did.
Yeah.
Like, man, imagine if every time a nigga use even, I was like, man, you niggas ain't gonna say nothing about me.
Or offer
You
base.
feel me? It's like it was a time when nobody was sharing our shit or posting our shit or using our shit, and all you wanted was a nigga. You don't care if a nigga put your name or not, then you like, man, please share my shit. You feel me? So it's dope to hear that state of change, and that's necessary. And yeah, that's human emotion that you experience and go through as an artist. So it's beautiful to come full circle.
Yeah, it wasn't instant. I'll tell you that. Like I've had moments since then where I'll be like, man, but I'll be like, I have to catch myself. You know, I have to catch myself and be like, take it back 4 or 5 years and be like, this is shit that I would have wanted to happen anyway. I wouldn't have cared then.
Yeah, right. And you got to remember that crediting is new. And like the creative community and like I look at a lot of posts and the way people credit comes from LaRussell.
Yeah.
But I'm not in their comments like, nigga, I can't believe you took my life. You feel me? But it's like, that's a new thing. It's still foreign to a lot of people. You know, it's a new concept. Crediting producers and engineers and photographers and videographers. It's such a new concept. You know, if you look at all of our historic photos of culture, we don't know who shot none of them.
Right.
None. But all of us know them covers.
I like my covers.
But the people who did it, you know they did it, and that's what you gotta live with. And that's really how art is, you know, in general. Like all of my favorite songs, most of them, 99%, I don't even know who produced them.
Impact.
Impact
is so much more important than credit.
Man. Yeah.
Impact. Yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah, one thing
you've been impactful.
Oh,
like kids, they come to the shows dressed as us. And it's because they see these covers and they see these photos and they see these visuals that we created, you know, and it influences them to mimic style.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know how everyone show up in Crocs and shorts and stuff now. That shit's so tight.
Legendary.
Right.
It's fire too, because I remember like when we were doing offer based and how people kept trying to get us to like what's it called? Trademark, like what you were doing. And you were like, I don't care about people doing what I'm doing. The whole point is to shift the culture. It's to get people doing that. And when we seen like the Giants using the Proud to Pay
that was crazy.
Right, it's like, of course they didn't credit him. But we all knew.
And now that email in there.
We did get an email from the Giants.
And now that email in there.
We did get an email from the Giants.
Because it's hard to, you feel me? Like that's the thing, when you put in so much work, the world gonna let people know. Like for the Croc shit, like your name ain't on there, but like you say, people texting you because they know. Right. Hey, that's, you feel me? And that's probably what happened with them. It couldn't go no other way.
Because I know who always doing that work. Of course it was Yesion.
Right. One of the biggest compliments I got recently is that even from like my peers, like other shooters, are like, you have a look that like they wouldn't even known I did it, but they seen the way whatever it was, they see it and they're like, he definitely did that.
You have a look. Yep. Your look is bling.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Right.
That's how I feel. You have a look.
Oh,
yeah. And man, that's like probably the highest compliment you could get as someone who
you know what you do well too, beyond the picture side, that I would like to, you know, take a little contribution in. I love how like now I be seeing other artists post your shit, and it's because you segregate all the folders and you create these moments, and it's just you know, the organization was key, and that's what a lot of photographers miss and don't understand. But that's the back end of it. Beyond you just shooting, you're placing it to where when it goes to a certain person, it's easy for them to decide. Like when I get photos, I got a best folder because we had these conversations. I'm like, I always used to tell gigs, nigga, send me the best 15. Right. I'm not trying to go through all that shit. You feel me?
A link, and now he sections them out per person.
Everyone
now I can
who's
go in
there.
and just find all the pictures of me and share them. Because before you would send a whole folder, and it's like, I wouldn't even go through and look for the photos of me. It's 500 pictures in there. But organization is like, that's a big point for creatives. Splash had to learn that early too.
Oh God.
I was just telling Mally that, like, bro, you don't realize how important being organized is until being unorganized is costing you more. And you're like, damn, I wish I would have organized my shit.
When you have to go back to recall something and you can't,
Because you were unorganized.
Like, thank God I was organized because when we got the original Crocs thing, I had everything already organized. That's why I was able to send you over 100 pictures that same night. Because I've been organized with everything.
Man,
We should do that art show before the year end.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think things like that are going to be really tight to do in the wintertime because we can't
Ain't
do
shit to
outside
do.
activities. Yeah. And it brings people inside. And if we do it as like another culture moment, like how we were going to do like the red carpet. We already announced that, yeah. We announced it last time. The GCAs and shit.
Kinda.
Yeah. But like if we give everybody like these moments to show up and feel like they're a part
We're gonna do
of it.
GCAs and we're gonna do red carpet. So you gotta get us pulling up in a limousine. That's gonna be a crazy photo. That's gonna be
And come on.
That
But
shit gonna
everybody
be
who
player.
crossed that red carpet, I think it'll be a dope moment for people, especially for like our base, because we never give people a reason to get dressed and like, feel that. So I think it's gonna be special.
For you to be a photographer at a red carpet event is gonna be tight as fuck.
And,
Right? You didn't have to wait for them to call. We created our own.
Man, that's the best part is that we're seeing. I've been there from pretty much almost the beginning. So to see it go from El Cid to red carpet is crazy.
From LC to Fairgrounds,
Right.
it's crazy. Nigga, we packed up in a Sprinter van with 10 to 12 of us to go do a show for 15 people. if 15, nigga. Like,
In the back
bruh.
of a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I
Niggas
still
was eating tacos right
across the street.
No, nigga, in the same restaurant.
Yeah, I remember. I will never forget that trip because
Right.
it was like what
That was your first trip.
I known y'all for what 3 days maybe.
Not even. You just really knew me. I think you hit me on what was that, like Twitter or something?
Yeah, because you had
And
put
I
out,
was
like,
just
a
like,
thing.
come on.
Yeah, same nigga.
And it's funny because back then I was like, hey, nigga, we take this van. If you want a mile, you just got to put in on it and roll. And he came. He knew none of us.
Yeah, yeah. It was.
He couldn't even sneeze yet.
Was sneezing even a thing back then?
Hell
It was.
What you mean?
I for sure had it at that point. I remember.
Nah.
I remember.
No, we used to laugh at you. You thought you had it, but you didn't have it.
Not the
okay.
sneezing
You
thing.
just thought you did, but we used to be like,
Growth. Shout out
bro,
growth.
legendary, man. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Come on.
Do you want to answer a couple of questions?
Let's do a little speed round.
All right. What were the steps that you took to monetize your infrastructure? Dun, dun, dun.
I just figured out a bunch of different ways to allow people to pay me directly. So doing features is monetizing my infrastructure. Working with producers is monetizing my infrastructure. Selling gold cards was monetizing my infrastructure.
going.
Selling stock was monetizing my
Keep
infrastructure. Doing live sessions was
Yes,
monetizing
sir.
my infrastructure. Everything I do is monetization of my infrastructure. I could sell a picture. Buzz
that.
so big I could probably sell a blank disc.
Say that. You're.
Come on, another one.
At what stage in the game would you recommend implementing a sort of gold card membership as an artist?
I think as soon as you realize you have a super fan who believe in you and you feel like you going somewhere, I think that's the point you could do it. I wouldn't do it too early because I think it's something that you have to build up. But as soon as you get to the point where you're like, oh yeah, I know I'm going to be doing this for the next 2-3 years and I'm going to do 100 shows and I know this is going to scale and grow because I'm putting all of my effort and time in. I think that it's time to officiate and you have something to give.
Right.
Don't make people sign up for something and get a paper for something that they're not going to really get the benefit from.
I feel like the biggest thing for you with gold cards has been making sure that people feel like it was worth the money that they spent. So you always
And they've gotten that beyond.
you always incentivize everything that you give. Like if I'm asking you to buy in, I'm gonna give you a lot of incentives on why you should buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What systems do you have in place to maximize content output? I want to build a team around my friends and I to make sure our marketing is on point.
To maximize content output. So the system I have in place is kind of like, we use like a waterfall method. So we go shoot something. After we shoot it, we bounce it down. Depending on what it is, it's either going straight to YouTube or it's going to Splash to edit, it's going to me to edit, or it's going to Cujo. So like vlog style content, if we've been shooting all day for Day in the Life, that gets rendered and it goes to Cujo. Cujo goes through it, busts everything down, throw it on YouTube, and then he throw it in the Dropbox so I can upload it straight to Even. And then once it gets on YouTube, before he'll upload to YouTube as unlisted. When it gets to YouTube as unlisted, I'll upload it on Munch, getmunch.com. Munch busts down all those clips. Then I go in after and I find the clips that I love and I pull those out and I caption them and I throw a thumb and then I schedule them into Hootsuite. You feel me? If it's something like a grill session, Splash bounces that and he edits it and then he gives me a final. And then same process. It's going into YouTube, going into Even. What we've been doing lately since we got the Even community is it'll go on Even and then it'll go on YouTube way later. So YouTube is getting behind and we can serve our direct fan base. So the people who are paying us is the people who get to consume our content first.
Sheesh.
One more, last one.
All right. Last one. I'll be trying to do
that was the last one?
Yeah, that's the last.
Yeah, we outside, man. It's been another episode. That's 3 episodes this week, man. You niggas can't fuck with the work ethic. It is not the same. I'm finna get 100 before the year end. Shout out Cinco, shout out Nick, shout out Mike G, shout out Yetion, Splash. We got it done. Splash just threw his own event. Woo! Again, him and Michael Prince, you heard. Niggas out here working. It's crazy because it's like, a lot of people feel like we made it, and we still get up every day and work like we ain't made shit.
Oh, God. Splash was just staring at the carpet thinking Jesus was finna come take him right now.
I'm getting to it. I live in a compound, and I work like I'm still sleeping on the couch in my mama crib.
God. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I did want to give a really special shout out to Splash because I do remember.
We over. Free Game Friday. Y'all heard it here first.
I wish I could disappear. Like how the nigga just disappeared into the bush. No, I wanted to say because we had that conversation.
Fuck all that.
Why are you still talking? Damn. We had that conversation and Yesion. We had that conversation about figuring out how to like monetize your base and your craft, and you really did it. And I remember you sitting in that room stressed, pulling your hair out. Like, I don't know how I'm going to make my own money. Because it's one thing to like work for GC and work with LaRussell and get a paycheck from him. But it's like every nigga want to check his own chicken and figure out how to get his own shit shaken. And you really did that. And you really don't take no breaks. Like, you've been so on top of using that event room that I can't even book my own event. And I'm not even mad about it because it's like this nigga hungry. Like you really are back to back. Like every chance you get, you don't be taking no breaks. I could have used it this weekend, but I was like, I don't even want to because we got shows coming up. You was like, I'm going to, and did it. Even though we had 3 back-to-back shows last weekend, we got another 3 this weekend. But you relentless, and I just wanted to give you your flowers for that because that's what it takes to win.
Yes, sir. It's been another incredible episode. Free game.
Free game.
No Friday, because we get free game every time we step on this mic.
Free game every day.
If you ain't Even, it's free game. But if you on YouTube, it's probably free game Friday because you're going to get them every Friday. You feel me? You heard? But sign up for that Even community because we in good community and that's what the fuck we doing.
On me. Till next time.
Booming.
You heard?
I few up.